legends come to fight. Bodies clashing, dreams ignite under the neon lights. Oh yeah, Pondwater Dave is the voice calling every move. Amy, fun and the trivia getting you in the groove. Oh yeah. Feel the energy, the thunder as the crowd begins to roar. High flying daredevils in a battle like never before. Oh yeah, from the turnbuckle to the mat, the action never stops. Talking wrestling takes you to the top. Oh yeah, feel the energy, the thunder as the crowd begins to roar. High flying daredevils in a battle like never before. Oh yeah, from the turnbuckle to the mat, the action never stops. Talking wrestling takes you to the top. Oh yeah, talking wrestling, it's a war right from suplexes to body slams. We got it all inside, get ready for excitement, that's on the show. Talking wrestling is ready to throw down. Oh yeah.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave. I'm Pondwater Dave, and join with me as always is the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, who's muted. She's going to blow this, Miss Amy Vaughn. She is muted. Unmute. Well, that's the bad part about doing this stuff live. Right off the top, I want to point out it's just me and Amy. As you noticed, it was just the two of us. Last week, our audio version of our podcast was not posted. As you noticed, we didn't have a new episode this week. Brad Stanton's a huge fan of the show. He's a supporter. He lets me know, and I had to apologize to him and tell him that from the Filter Free Popcast, Timmy C erased. I mean, I didn't get video either. And Timmy C erased it, and I can't do anything to Timmy C because he's not on our show. So somebody had to be fired, and it was Justin. Which I'm just kidding. Justin stepped away from the show for. We appreciate. I mean, he's been with us since the beginning. I was with Justin over at Ringside Ramp when we started this. We definitely appreciate everything Justin's done for us. He's going to be sorely missed. So our 3-man booth's down to 2. Amy hadn't got tired of me yet, but we wish Justin well, and he may pop back in from time to time.
Actually, Justin and I flipped, and he won, so I had to stay. I wasn't going to tell you that, but since you said it that way, I at least wanted you to know the truth.
Well,
kidding.
I can't type fast enough. I was going to just put short straw Jones on the screen. Our producer's not here either. She's softball Grandma Jones tonight.
I bet.
So, what'd you think about the new theme song, Amy? How'd you like it?
I liked it.
A little
I
groovy,
did like
isn't it?
I'm very happy that that one photo stayed in, or that little video of you coming over the top rope. That is just priceless. It shall never leave the show. Hey, Coach Keith.
Yeah, we got a lot right in here. Darren Staley's with us.
Yes.
Terry Weaver, T-Weave. Efren, who's going to be... Efren, am I allowed to say what you're doing in Chicago?
I feel like it's been advertised, hasn't it?
Is it advertised?
I thought so. I feel like it's been advertised. Well, don't say nothing until he says.
Yeah. So. I'll err on the side of caution. He's Oh, Darren Staley bringing the heat. Oh,
I'd
my
like to
God.
take some of those odds because I think that's a negative.
I think it is too.
Maybe someone dressed in a chicken costume, but I don't really think it's going to be that.
Well, if you're a top guy with ad-free shows, you're in for a hell of a treat.
I
They
know.
all
And
know he's going to host the game event again. He's going to be the star of the show in Chicago at Top Guy weekend.
yeah,
It's killing me. It's killing me. I can't be there.
I agree. I've secretly thought about if I flew up there, like
Yeah.
again, I'm going to tell my family I'm going out for cigarettes and milk and go out for the weekend. And
Yeah.
come back on Sunday. I hate it. And if you are not a Top Guy, you are really missing a great time that's coming up with ad-free shows, Top Guy weekend in Chicago. Lots of fun stuff planned. You know what? That's a very
That
good
makes
point.
sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah,
'Cause
because the
he-
last thing that he said last week on the air was how much mayonnaise did he have to eat? Because he's
Yeah.
trying to fade the heat to me about me getting the chops from Camacho, and then he
Yeah.
ain't that some shit? He quit before he ate mayonnaise.
hmm And he was only going to have to do a teaspoon. Like he had really whittled it down. I don't know. That's
Oh
something to
man,
think about. That is really something to think about. I'm very jealous because I think all of Efren's games are so much fun and audience participation. You never know if you're going to get checked, picked to be in the game. I've actually won the game event. Have you ever won before, Dave?
I think I have. Yeah,
You did? What game did y'all play? What game were you playing?
I can't remember.
Oh.
I know we should have won. I know we should have won Family Feud one time. I think I did I think I went first and put like 150 points on the board, but my partner.
Oh no. Okay, yes, he says we are allowed to
Well, I'm
talk
glad
about it.
we've already talked about it.
Oh, he's even saying it was yes,
But
it's going to be the match game.
and there's real games. I mean, he's giving away $1,000 this weekend. But I mean, I only played a test game and I got a Cameo gift card, and I used it too. I sent a Carter Anderson video. I sent a Carter Anderson video to my friend Russ Miller when his father died, to try to cheer him up. And but no, I appreciated it because now everybody. Amy got a Carter Anderson video.
I
Conrad
did.
got a video. That's Carter Anderson's my go-to. If you don't know who Carter Anderson is, he's the guy. He's a comedian. Go look him up. TikTok, Instagram. His gimmick is that he takes, like, he'll have Target, Kohl's, Ross, TJ Maxx, all these clothing stores talking trash to each other. He'll put eyes and a mouth on it. And then Taco Bell shows up and says somebody's slogan, and his closing thing is, "That is not your slogan, bitch." So but I mean, he does ongoing stories, and you get into his characters, like the restaurants, and particularly like right now, Taco Bell's been kidnapped, and he's replaced with this new fancy Taco Bell. But he's married to Sheryl Crow, and they have baby Taco Bell, so she's highly upset. And Waffle House is a badass. I mean, he's just got a whole universe of Carter Anderson stuff. He is so freaking hilarious with it.
My cameo was very good. It had
I'm
Arn
glad you liked
Anderson, Undertaker. It had it was very well. It was very nice.
But if you
It was
can't
fun.
afford Carter Anderson, you can afford
I think,
Pondwater Dave. I'm on Cameo for $10. I will wish somebody a happy birthday. I'll tell somebody. I mean, do you want to break up with you? You want a divorce? I'll tell your wife, hey, you're out of here. Whatever you need me to do, I'm Pondwater Dave on Cameo. I will be there for you. I wish birthday wishes, inside jokes, anything you need, I will read. I mean, I'll do it as Ref Super Dave. I'll do it as Ref Super Dave. I'll do it as Pondwater Dave. I'll do it as Dr. Phil D. Payne. I'll put on my wrestling gear and my mask and be Super D. Whatever you need.
give us an example. What would you say to someone who sent you a request? They want to break up with their girlfriend. I mean,
Well,
that's
he's
kind
got
of
to
a
tell me
dick move.
why.
First
He's
off,
got to tell
right?
me
I was
why.
going to say to have someone else do it. That's kind of a dick move.
I'd
Really.
do it, but I
Do you
mean,
even need?
if she'd have kept herself fresh down there, he probably wouldn't be leaving. And I will handle that sensitive issue. Vaginosis destroys relationships.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go.
All right. I mean, definitely, if you've got any needs out there, Dr. Fieldy Payne. I think that's a Dr. Fieldy Payne one. Like, if you really thought that was the issue,
Oh, I'll cut a
that would be
promo
a
now.
good.
I will.
I think so. I won. I played.
My first ever cameo was on the game event.
Really?
It wasn't in the yeah. I mean, I did it cameo style, but Efren asked me to do
Oh,
one,
one
and
of his that he did.
yeah,
Oh,
he
yes,
asked me
I
to
do
do one,
remember
and I
that.
did it. Before we start talking wrestling, do you have any like food silliness, or let me tell you what I mean by that. Like when I was a little kid, my mom would make fish and there'd be bones in it. And it was like, be
Mhm.
real careful because you're going to choke. There's bones in it. You got to chew real. And eating fish was pain in the ass. I don't like eating, to this day, I don't like eating bone-in fish because it's a hassle, because I can hear my mom saying, be careful, you're going to choke.
Yeah.
Then as an adult, eating a baked potato wrapped in foil, because when you cut through the foil, or you stick or whoever cooks it sticks the fork in them through the foil.
Mm.
If you ever had a piece of foil hit your teeth, a filling,
Ooh,
it lights your
yeah.
whole head on fire. I don't
Yeah.
need that kind of pressure when I'm trying to eat the equivalent of mashed potatoes in a shell.
Yeah. Okay.
But I tell you all that to tell you that we were cooking steak. The Queen's English, I guess, because unless she's got a mouse in her pocket, she wasn't cooking this particular meal.
Oh,
We're gonna have steak and baked potatoes. Well, I'm
yummy.
going there. I'm ready to cook the steaks, and she goes, "You put the potatoes on?" No, but I already had the grill fired up. Had it up to 450, so she's
Yeah.
getting potatoes. We're going to get the potatoes, and I'm like, I got an idea. So I took the potatoes and said, we're not going to put them in full. And I rubbed them with vegetable oil, and I hit them with kosher salt.
Mhm.
And I just went and put them out on the grill, and for about 45 minutes. And then I started checking them with a fork in them to see if it felt soft. I moved them over, put my steaks on. I freaking killed it. I killed it. I mean, when those baked potatoes came off, I mean, I ate the skin. Cooking them that way, it's never, ever, I'm never
Skin's
going to
good
wrap
for you.
my baked potato in foil again. And I enjoyed eating the potato so much because I didn't have to worry about catching that foil in my teeth. That errant piece of foil that got, you know.
I guess just the idea of the grill holding all that heat in, I guess that works like aluminum foil, you know?
I guess
And
it
I guess
worked.
in
It
a
was
sense,
excellent. I
that's
mean, the potato was soft. I opened it up, and I mean, it was like a mashed potato inside of a skin. I mean, then I had buttered and cheesed, and
yum.
that
That
cow
sounds
did not
great.
die in vain. That steak was excellent.
When was this? Sunday or yesterday? Did you have it for
Saturday,
yesterday?
I cooked them Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, because I cooked an extra one, and I like to microwave the extra one on the second day. And but Steph wanted hamburgers
Mm.
so I made her some hamburgers. I did damn good. I've turned in quite the grill master.
Apparently, yeah, that's awesome. You could do anything on a grill, you know?
Well, I got this pellet grill, and it's like grilling for dummies. You can't mess up on a pellet grill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Unfortunately, we have a little bad news to start out with. I mean, we already started out with bad news that we don't have Justin anymore. But in the wrestling world, we lost Sonny King. And I don't know if everybody that listens to us knows anything about Sonny King. I remember Sonny King my first memories of Sonny King, he was a manager in Memphis, but he was a wrestler. He was a boxer. He was actually a professional boxer. He was friends with Ernie Ladd, and Ernie Ladd got him in the wrestling business. And the significance of Sonny King is he is the first African American champion in the WWF. He actually won the tag team championship with Chief Jules Strongbow.
Really? I did not know that.
Yes. And now Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas were the first pair of African Americans to have the tag team championships. But I mean, any champion in WWF, Sonny King was the first African American champion. He lived to be 79 years old. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family. I know he had a really good career. He feuded with Jerry Lawler over the Southern title. He traded the Florida Brass Knucks championship back and forth to Killer Carl Cox a few times. He was and this was in the 70s. He was the Alabama heavyweight champion. He won the AWA Southern Tag Team Championships. He had a very successful career throughout the 70s.
Cool. And Drew Reviews says that you can catch him on Mid-South in 1984 on the network. So if you wanted to see some of
now that he says that, now that Drew Review says that, it seems like I remember. Seems like I remember seeing Sonny King in Mid-South now that he mentions it. But I do remember him being a manager in Memphis.
Who did he manage? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
I'm looking it up because I can't remember. Managed Joe LeDuc and Ron Bass, Cowboy Ron Bass and Joe LeDuc.
Okay.
So anyway, watch any wrestling this weekend, Amy?
So let me think, because I feel like there's so much wrestling the last few weeks. Like I'm trying to remember. I watched All In, but that was last weekend, right?
Right.
This weekend was Bash in Berlin, right?
Correct.
Okay, I saw that. I did not watch NXT. I heard it was a great show, though.
I did too.
I had watched that. I did watch some of Raw last night.
Yeah, I thought Raw was really good last night. But we'll stick a pin in that though, because when we get through covering back, stick a pin in Raw last night, because there's something going on with Raw that if they did this on AEW, they'd be getting ripped to shreds. So we'll stick a pin in that. That's foreshadow. That's foreshadowing, kids.
Interesting.
Uh-oh. Thought I just ended the stream.
Oh.
I almost clicked the wrong button. I'm glad it said, "Are you sure?"
Allison just got here and it'd be like, click. No, we're gone. She would have been like, okay.
All right, here we go with WWE's. Man, we're missing our producer, aren't we?
She does make things flow pretty well.
She sure does. Everybody send your hate tweets to @Teppy4T Twitter and tell her to quit abandoning her duties as a
non-paid staff member.
She gets paid.
Oh, would she consider that being paid?
It rhymes with paid. All right, the Bash in Berlin. This was in Berlin, Germany. I think that international crowd, they are so much fun. They were having a great time. They were loud and proud, and they were biting into everything. It was a good production. I really, really, really like WWE outside of the United States.
You
They
know,
could do they could do them all in different time zones for all I care. I love watching wrestling in the daytime.
no kidding. You know what? I think it's become one of my bucket list items of going to a wrestling event in Europe, somewhere in Europe, because London, I mean, the crowds that we've seen, the one at the Glasgow or whatever one they did at the Clash of the Castles or whatever, the one in France, this one, I mean, they are just absolutely like, I want to be part of that crowd. Yes, Allison Faye and I, we've talked about this several times.
I
And
want to.
I
I'm
would put
with you
that
on
on this
this,
bucket list to be part of that crowd.
but my bucket list also contains going to Wrestle Kingdom
Ooh,
in
yeah.
Japan.
But the crowd's not they're very polite crowds.
I know,
You
but
know, I think it would have to be, I still think you could do, like I said, it needs to be in Europe. I think a wrestling event in Europe, and then Wrestle Kingdom in Japan. Like those could be two different things. I think that'd be interesting.
Drew, those people are rabid, and I'm not going to Brazil for anything because I'm gonna mess around and wear the wrong color of something and get shot. And I've already
I
reached my daily recommended allowance of bullets.
bullet to the head. Uh, you know what though? That shows, maybe not we go all the way to Brazil, but that show in Puerto Rico was very I almost
Yeah,
said off the chains, which I think is very, I don't need to be saying
but
that at my age,
I
but
would just like to go. I'd just like to go to Japan though, and I think if I had my choice between Japan and Europe, I'd go to Japan. And we've talking about it, and Sonny Ono saying we need to get a group together and go with him, and we'd be able to see part of Japan that we don't. We get to see some stuff that everybody else didn't get to see. So
I definitely think if you're going, you need to go with Sonny Ono, especially
without
since he
question,
offered it like that. So,
yeah,
he would, I mean, take a group. I think you're right. I think that's the only way to go. It would be go to with him.
yeah. We're going to start out with. I'm not. These won't be in the same order that the pay per view was. We're going to start out with the strap match. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. You know,
Hmm.
I
I like,
prefer a strap match. I prefer a strap match with a pinfall. I don't like the four corners gimmick.
mm,
It can be used to tell a story. I get it. I'd rather. I mean, to me, I want you to beat them up so bad that you can pin them.
right. But you're supposed to be dragging them. That's the
Yeah, you're
other thing
dragging
about
them around. We
touching
also
all the
need a
four
shorter
corners.
strap.
Oh yeah, that's one of those other things that just, if you can reach it, the other side of the ring, it's kind of loses some of it, like that
Yeah.
makes sense. But I do like that they had a strap match. I mean, I don't, and I do think that these two, like uh what they are doing, with these two, I think it was worth a strap match, to be able to hit each other with it and beat each other down. It wasn't, I get kind of the symbolism, I guess. The bracelet's very important. It's kind of weird to see them like fighting over this bracelet so much, but I know it stands for his family and everything that he, loves. I get that. But I thought it was fine. I mean, again, I really do think that this is one of those things that demanded a gimmick, I guess, because of just the way they keep attacking each other. I think you needed something. And I'm okay at not being a cage. I think that might be, and
Cage
again,
is coming.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I know we, pin it for later, but I do think that is coming.
I mean,
or Hell in a
this
Cell or whatever they want to call it.
this was a. I mean, this was you knew CM Punk was going to win this one because Drew got the last one.
Right.
I did get tickled when Drew pulled the bracelet out of his crotchal area, and when Punk got it back, he kissed it.
So weird over a bracelet.
Anyway, I know, and I mean,
Did you see? Now, this could totally not be true, and I probably shouldn't repeat it, but something was going around that the person who made him that bracelet was wanting some kind of compensation because it's become such a huge part
Oh,
of
it
the
would not shock
storyline.
me.
I
Yeah,
don't
but did you
even.
notice when they got to Berlin that everybody on the roster got like a bracelet? Somebody they made them bracelets over there.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, or I didn't know who it was, but yeah.
What are Dave and Amy's favorite strap matches of all time? You
I
got
mean,
one,
you're.
Amy?
Hmm, no, I'm sitting there thinking it's got to be something with Terry Funk or Mick Foley. I can't imagine they haven't had a strap match. Wahoo Valentine. You know what? No, that's a dog collar match. Never mind. Uh,
Yeah, that was a dog collar match. They may have had a strap match though. Wahoo had that was his signature. I'm
Wahoo
sure that I
Valentine.
liked. I'm sure that I could say that I liked Wahoo strap matches, but I would be hard pressed to tell you who he had one with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I did like the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds. They called it a country whipping match, and they had They had straps on each arm, and they would beat each other with the straps.
Really? What do you
Yeah, it was
call it?
brutal.
A
It was brutal.
Vader Sting, White Castle. White Castle of Fear? Is that a true White Castle of Fear? Was that what the match was called,
Yeah,
Andrew?
it was the White Cat. Remember, because they put Sting in a helicopter and he flew up to Vader's mountain lair like he was Doctor Evil.
Okay. I okay. Because when I read White Castle, I'm thinking of the food. That
Yeah, I
just
know.
sounds
And
like
my
was
fear that
that
I'm not gonna, if I eat it in the car, I'm not gonna make it home in time to get on the toilet.
I was just gonna say, so like, am I reading that right? Coach has Flair versus Wahoo. There you go, Coach.
Hell of a
85.
match. Hell of a match. Coach is right. That's a strap match. I wouldn't want Wahoo. I would not
Dude,
want Wahoo hitting me with a strap. I
that's very
don't want
true.
anybody hitting me with a strap. Me and my dad used to have a strap match every time I got in trouble.
Maybe when we get to 700, somebody hits you
No,
with a
no,
strap.
we won't.
Why not?
Cause
I'll let someone. No, never mind. I ain't gonna do that. I'll let somebody hit me with a strap. No, I won't.
dang.
Or a kendo stick. That's Brad Stanton's favorite thing is a kendo stick.
Bleacher
About
Report gave
sensitive.
this a B plus.
The match.
Yeah.
What didn't they like? Did they say why? I'm just curious. I shouldn't. I mean, sorry.
Just said, well, they said it felt very much like a rivalry that had one match left in it. It was kind of
Mhm.
obvious. I gave it 3 in a mouthful.
Yeah.
Uh, just because the style, this match didn't hit. I mean, it was good. I didn't hate it.
Right.
I liked it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
But I really, really like Drew McIntyre, and I don't really care too much for CM Punk. So,
I
you know,
think this character that Drew McIntyre, just I don't want to say crazed, but uh is really good. And again, that kind of comes up with what happened at Raw, but
until Raw though, has he been? Have you? I don't think he's been the heel in this feud.
Drew
Until Raw,
McIntyre,
he is. Until Raw, I don't see him as the heel in this feud.
I could see that. He was but you're right. It's almost like Punk was too people liked him too much to think about. Yeah,
Now,
he did kind of
I didn't
screw
need the
with.
light gimmick. I didn't need the light gimmick on there because also it looked cheap.
Mm,
Those lights look cheap. Like they look like they went to Home Depot and bought some lights and zip tied them to the top of a pole. They could have done the same thing with spotlights. They could have hit a spotlight on each corner as they
yeah,
did them, but they did not need that Home Depot rigged up.
like hitting a button, like hitting
And
the.
at Home Depot, they probably found that shit at unclaimed freight. It
Well, this
looked
is in
horrible.
Germany too, so now you got to think about what they could have. IKEA, I guess that's Swedish, but they
Well,
could have
yeah,
come up
but
with something.
Volkswagens have better lights on them than that. So the
Volkswagen.
technology's there.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of cheesy. I mean, a little bit. I don't know how big, how the venue was. I guess they're just trying to, add to that, making sure you can see the lights and when all, they're all lit
Yeah.
or three are lit, like kind of building up to that a little bit. But you're right. I think
Overhead
Punk is
views
one of,
with
yeah. So you can kind of see it, but you're right about that. Punk is universe. There's a universal appeal that even when he's doing something almost like Hulk Hogan. I know we've talked about this before, but like Hulk Hogan did things that were very heelish, scratching the back and
he wrestled as a heel his
cheating and
whole
stuff.
career.
But he was universally loved. People let that by, and I
Yeah.
feel like maybe they kind of did that with Punk. Like, he did cost Drew McIntyre, and he was doing all this stuff to Drew, and
It was all heel stuff though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you were just saying that Drew hasn't been the heel until recently. And I said,
Until last night. I mean, yeah, until last night.
Right.
But we're going to stick a pin in that, and we'll talk
Yes.
about it after we get done.
Yes. But I see what you're saying is what I guess what I was trying to say. Okay.
Next up, we had what I like to call a housekeeping match. And I don't mean because there's all women in it. We're taking care of the housekeeping of getting the tag belts off of those two back onto Bianca and Jade.
Why were they off? Why did
because they let them win. They let them win in front of the hometown crowd overseas.
Oh, okay. Okay, because these girls are, yeah.
This is a course correction to get the titles back over to Bianca and Jade.
True.
I truly believe that there will be some tension between Bianca and Jade.
You think
But
so?
I think it's going to come to build towards WrestleMania.
Mm.
But I thought this match was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. What do I normally gripe about the most in AEW? When we watch AEW, regular episode, pay-per-view, what is my main gripe about AEW?
They have people in there that are still green.
But I don't really, do I gripe about that?
Okay.
I mean,
no, apparently you don't. The referees suck. The referees
there you go.
And okay.
It's
sorry.
the refereeing.
Yes.
And bad refereeing or buried refereeing. Let me go back and just say that when a referee gets buried in AEW,
yes,
that's how it's booked. It's not because they're bad referees.
Right.
That's how it's booked.
Right.
Dan Engler, the former Rudy Charles, is probably one of the best referees in the business and has been for a long time. And Bianca, with that ponytail, gets it pulled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Fire had the ponytail and was dragging Bianca across the ring. The referee started counting to let go of it. He got to 5 and started the count over again. She buried the referee, which you never see in WWE. It's very rare. I couldn't believe that Dan got to 5, actually said 5. Because if you're not going to disqualify him for not listening, and on this week's episode of World Class Flashback, we saw wrestler getting choked on the ropes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disqualification. You didn't listen. He disqualified him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Referee gets 5. It's over. We did the same finish at Legacy when I refereed the other night. Actually, wouldn't break on the ropes, choking on the ropes, got to 5, he's out. So you just don't see this in WWE. And it took me completely out at that point. Like I was just aggravated because this isn't, with no disrespect to these ladies, they're still pretty young. I mean, they're still pretty new.
Sure.
So this wasn't like you had Randy Orton in the main event testing the referee, or Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair. I mean, hey, rookie, hey, You go,
So
I mean, Dan could have stopped at 4 and actually put his hands on her and said, let go, let go. 1, 2, and then got her attention.
Right.
You don't let go of that hair. And also, I'm going to say that when Bianca and Jade fall out, I predict, because everybody thinks it'll be Jade Cargill that's going to be the heel, I think Bianca Belair is going to be the heel in the deal. And what she ought to do is she ought to have where she could take that ponytail off before the match and just like put it over on the corner, because you can't pull her hair. Like, nah, you're not going to get to pull my hair no more.
we have seen
Drew Reviews is pointing out also that the girl who took the pin had the foot under the bottom rope and Dan missed it. The next night on NXT, Trick Williams, as ref, stopped to count for it. Good points.
So do you think it's more on the, I don't know which one is which, I'm sorry. Did they not, so, okay, we had this conversation whenever Seth Rollins came out and interrupted Damian Priest when he was wrestling, whatever. The ref did not count 3. Do you remember this match I'm talking
Yes.
about? It's like he was knocked out or whatever. So are the refs like you said, you're supposed to count, like you are supposed to count if he has his shoulders down,
right?
Regardless. So are we seeing more of the refs not doing those things, or
yes, we're starting to see a trend.
You think that's in WWE? I mean, like they know how it's supposed to happen, because just like this, I mean, her
that crap didn't happen under Vince's watch.
But why? I mean, why do you think they're letting it happen now?
Storytelling.
You think maybe they're not as scared of getting fired?
Could be. It's it's hard to see with WWE, who's always been detail oriented that way. It's the little things.
Right.
And again, people, I watch the ref. I watch through the eyes of a referee. I can't turn it off. But not too often do you actually see one get to 5 and start over.
Right. No kidding.
And the small details, it's like Drew Reviews just said, small details slipping through the cracks. I gave this one 2 jars and a mouthful. Bleacher Report gave it a B. They liked it. I liked it. I liked it until that. It just took me out of it.
Right. No.
And also, I knew there was no chance that they were keeping those tag titles.
Sure. I wonder if that's their inexperience. I mean, if their foot, the girl, I mean, it's her foot under the rope. I mean, it shouldn't have been there anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
and then she maybe didn't hear the ref, or she wasn't counting or whatever. Because why would?
And it's on Bianca too, because Bianca could have gone at her.
Right.
Bianca could have heard the referee count too, and because Bianca was pulling back.
Right.
There's a breakdown in there, and it's just the little things. And
yeah. So yeah, there was definitely something was going on, and I don't know if it's just inexperience or the crowd. It could have been the noise. I don't know.
All right, 2 jars and a mouthful for me on that one. This was a fun match.
I think
this is a fun match.
Yeah, I think we knew it would be a fun match. Like I don't think anybody's expecting like a wrestling clinic. No,
this was going to be what it was. We're getting it's Dominic and Liv they're getting theirs in this.
I like it though. I mean, I like this kind of, like, I like Liv with the Judgment Day again. Put a pin in it for about a Raw. I like Dom. I mean, how he gets more hated, I'm not really for sure, but I think he does. How over Rhea Ripley is just insane. I love it. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love it, but again,
she is.
I don't think
so over.
Yeah, it's like you don't think she could get any more over, and then she does. It's just
what else was over in this match?
What?
That pin.
No, Lordy, I bet.
Yeah. That was the greatest pin. Like, I want that screenshot. That's the autograph picture I'm looking for.
Oh.
Mommy was on top.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
It was just what it needed to be. Tim Robinson says, I didn't want it to be a wrestling clinic.
Oh yeah.
Loved it. It didn't need to be a wrestling clinic.
No.
But we also had the storytelling vehicle that now Rhea holds a pinfall victory over the champ.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's good. It's real good. 4 in a mouthful for me.
Oh, I bet. Just on the pin alone, I'm
The
sure.
the pins would put that mouthful on top of it. Bleacher Report gave it an A.
Did it like the pin too? I'm just wondering.
I didn't see that they did.
I'm just curious.
I read their grade. I didn't read their reasoning because I didn't want. I'm not coming on here to read. I'm telling you how what I thought about it, but I'm just putting it in context to what they thought about it.
I got you.
But I'm not going to plagiarize Bleacher Report.
I understand. I'm just curious.
I'm not stealing their stuff. Kevin Owens challenges Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. And this match was hellacious. Hellacious. The only part of this match that didn't hit for me was when Cody, the knee thing. The knee thing. I'm with Drew on this. KO sold 2 crossroads and hit a stunner. Cody shouldn't have kicked out of the stunner. He could have took the stunner and been close enough to the ropes, throw that foot over the rope. You don't kick out of. I don't like him kicking out of the finishers. Same with KO. He could have took the crossroads. We could have done the rope gimmick. You just can't kick out strong on things you shouldn't kick out on.
Right. No, that's true.
I also didn't like the part about when Cody's knee gave out. And Kevin had him outside the ring and he wasn't going to do it. And the no killer instincts with Kevin. I think Kevin should have been vicious, done everything he could. Friendship aside, I'm trying to win the championship. You're crying that you haven't been champion since 2016. This is not, I mean, we knew he wasn't going to win it, but the storytelling at the end with the hug. Tim, they could have hugged after this. I think if I'm Cody Rhodes, you could actually tell a story like getting on Kevin Owens' ass for, my God, you're being a bitch. You had an opportunity and you didn't take it. I'd cut your throat for this championship and you let me make it. That's just what I'm thinking. Darren's right. The buddy shit doesn't work. I mean, they could have just left it all out there and then, it would have been fine. And I do like that they left as friends. Just not during the match. That took away from it for me. Yeah. So, I mean, it's 3-jar match for me. Bleacher Report gave it an A. It was a hell of a match. It went for like 40 minutes.
Bleacher Report gave it an A?
Yeah, they gave it an A. They loved it.
Who do you think is going to take the title off Cody? I mean, again, it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure we all did not feel like Kevin Owens was going to win this match. So, I mean, the previous one was like that too. Yes, he has great matches with people, but it's like, yeah, I mean, they're not winning. We all know Cody's going to win. So who do you think is going to be that person that's going to make you hesitate and think, maybe
The Rock?
This is it?
I'm scared that they'll do The Rock. Solo. I mean, if you're going to pivot back to Roman, the smart thing is that Solo, I'd go Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go Jacob Fatu and then have Jacob Fatu versus Roman. But they're trying to sell WrestleMania. Somehow I think it's The Rock, and you get The Rock and Roman a year later for the title.
Hmm.
I don't really want that.
Right.
I mean, we could see Cody. We could see Cody all the way back in a triple threat match with Rock and Roman.
True.
I mean, I just don't see. I don't see anybody taking it from him. Please, for the love of God, no on John Cena taking it from him. I'd like to see John Cena could get a match with him.
Oh,
I don't need to
yeah.
see John Cena champion again. There's just nobody that. I guess if I had you were coming to me and says, "Hey, we're taking the title off of Cody. Who are we going to put it on, Dave? It's up to you." I'm going to say Randy Orton.
Hmm.
I'd go Randy Orton right now. I don't think Bronson Reed's ready.
What about Brock
I don't think
Lesnar?
Braun Breaker's ready.
No. What do you think, Brock Lesnar? Would he be somebody if it was?
I
No.
don't want Brock. I wouldn't. I don't think Brock Lesnar's going to be back. I don't think he's
You
going to
think
be
he's
welcomed
out?
back. No, they had a guy that has not been charged with anything in WWE.
Oh, I
Just
know. I
like-
saw
just an
that.
accusation, and they fired him.
Yeah.
It's just an accusation. I mean, no charges or anything yet. That last I'd heard, and they just fired him. They don't have time for that. I don't think we're going to see Brock Lesnar back. I wouldn't have problems seeing Brock Lesnar back.
Mm-hmm.
If Gunther was going to unify, I would be for Gunther. Darren Staley said Gunther. But I think Randy Orton, if you just had to get it off of somebody with somebody that's there, and so none of these to me are a good choice right now.
Right.
I guess if I've had my druthers, I would rather see Cody take it all the way to WrestleMania in a triple threat match against Rock and Roman.
And not technically have to lose it. Someone else get pinned.
Or he gets his pin back against The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't want The Rock. Though. I mean, I'm not a fan of someone coming in, and I understand The Rock is super popular, but I don't like the idea of someone part-time or, that had been there for a couple of years coming in and defeating someone who has been working their ass off.
He's already did it. He already did it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Brock Lesnar, they used to do that with him. Now I get
I don't want to see that either.
Yeah.
But let me say
that.
But let me say that in a perfect world, it'd be Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
The monster Cody couldn't slay.
I like that.
Or I'd like him to do the triple threat match in a way that we could get a heel Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I've been advocating for the Homelander version of Cody Rhodes. It's going to be so good when it finally happens. Screw them kids. They can find somebody, they can love somebody else. But I understand that he's so good with them. And they never did it with Cena for the same thing, but it would be so good. It would be so good. And then finally, this is my favorite match of the night. Gunther defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Randy Orton. Randy Orton's bigger than Gunther. I did not realize that till I saw him face off. Randy Orton he's phenomenal looking. He's great.
He's really good. Yeah. He has definitely added a lot of muscle mass. Someone said what, 290?
He looks like the prototypical wrestler.
Yes.
The obvious story in this match would have been beating each other's chest until they look like hamburger meat, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that they wrestled. Gunther gets him with a sleeper hold. I like the sleeper hold. I wish that they did the sleeper hold where the referee made him wake him up afterwards with the sitting him up and popping him on the back of the neck.
That would, oh my gosh, that just brings back some great memories. of Brutus
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Barber Beefcake doing that.
yeah, for me, it was Al Madrill would use a sleeper, and then he would do it.
Really,
Yeah, and then Bronco would make him wake him up, and then he gave him that little extra,
that's
that little
great.
extra gig.
I did like the respect that was shown at the end.
Yes,
I did like that. And again, they didn't hug, but they shook hands, and I think that was I think that was appropriate because Randy Orton is, a top guy. I mean, he is massive competition for Gunther, and he won, and I think that was a great way to stay a heel. But again, you can understand that, yeah, that was a great match. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah. I didn't like that Gunther kicked out of an RKO.
mm,
And the
yeah,
reason I didn't like it is because he took the RKO and his foot was by the rope. And I genuinely thought, oh, he's going to put that foot on the rope. It's perfect.
right.
And then Randy Orton grabs that leg and hooks it. And I'm like, well, that's smart because you didn't make sure he's not going to put that foot on the rope. So then he kicked
Right.
out.
That
He
was
kicked
his
out.
plan.
So it was kind of like you pissed me off with it, but the science of him hooking that leg that way, I'll forgive it. It's nitpicking, but it's just I need to see rope breaks. I mean, I need to see foot on the rope, grab hand on the rope. I need to see people kicking out on one. Everything don't have to be 2.5.
Exactly. No, I like, yes,
Especially
I
early in the
agree.
match, they lay their 1-2 kick. No, kick out on one early in the match. If they go
Yes,
for the cover, kick
definitely.
out.
And then recover them. Like, I don't understand why we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, why are you not like, if you just barely made somebody, or, they just inked out a kick out, like, get back on top, make them do it again.
And how about
So,
remember when like Flair would used to get on somebody and he'd have them pinned 1-2, but then he kept on and this would go on like it was actual grappling, trying
yes,
to muscle that guy's shoulders down.
yes,
So
I totally agree.
I, yeah, I agree with you, Heather. And I know what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that Gunther's just that, that big. And they do that with everybody now. The only true
Right.
finisher in wrestling anymore is the schoolboy.
Hmm.
But overall, this was a good PLE.
I like
I like 5 matches.
Yeah, I do too. I like that. We don't have to have 18 matches at the Bash in Berlin,
We don't.
I did
Yeah.
hear somebody was talking about, what was it, the Intercontinental or what do they have? The Intercontinental title?
Yeah.
Was it the Intercontinental?
Yeah.
Like
Braun
that would
Breakers.
have been a belt that they would have liked to have seen.
Intercontinentally. Why not?
Yeah. That would have been a good belt to be up for the tag belt. Oh, not tag belt. I'm sorry. I took some medicine because I was a little stuffy. The Intercontinental Championship would have been nice to see on international soil, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Overall for me, I'm giving this PLA 4 jars. I was thoroughly entertained. It wasn't too long. They also didn't try to put half the roster in the first 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Triple H doesn't buy into everybody deserves to be on a PLE.
Right.
So that's me. I mean, I like these shorter NXT takeover type PLEs, and I hope they keep doing this.
Definitely.
And then when they don't want to do this, it's 2 nights, and that's great too.
Right. Because you've got your big Royal Rumble, not this year, but next year, right? Is going to be a 2-night, or is that, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, the SummerSlam.
Is it
I don't know that the
SummerSlam?
Rumble is. SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights, and WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights. But I don't think we've gone 2 on the Royal Rumble yet. But they could do 2 nights on the Royal Rumble, and in doing so, You could have the men's rumble one night, the women's rumble the second night.
Yes, I agree. I think
And
that would be something that could
and I
work
think
out.
it's going to happen eventually. But right
Yeah,
now, I think it's just that in SummerSlam that are doing the 2-night concepts.
but whoa,
Whoa,
you zoo.
I did. How about that?
That's better. They don't need to see all that. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I like this. It was 3 hours. I didn't watch the whatever they call it, ground zero or the before the pre-show, but I do like how they use that opportunity to talk about the matches that are upcoming instead of having matches on a pre-show. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of helping people, understand the story, what's going on, why is this match, happening. I think that's a better use of their time than to have, just a couple of pay-per-view match or whatever matches on and then say, okay, now we're going to the main show. I think it's a better use of that free show time to be like, this is what's going on. And, kind of giving like that backstory of, and since you only have 5 matches, it's easier to do. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to do to give each one kind of 5-10 minutes of why are they fighting? What's happened in the past, what this could look like. So
Maybe one dark match.
if,
But they're
if
not really dark matches if you show them.
I was gonna say, so when Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels, Hickenbottoms, whatever, when they're reviewing our show like they do every week, maybe they'll take some of
Yeah.
our our suggestions.
They can hire me.
know.
One of the companies should hire me to be in charge of referee continuity.
Definitely.
But I felt like that for one, if AEW cared about referee continuity, Mike Chioda would work there.
Mm.
I believe that.
And maybe that's why he does it,
Speaking of other trends that WWE is doing, like AEW, somebody's getting stretchered every week on Raw.
Mm.
Bronson Reed comes out and he does the multiple. He kills Seth with the multiple splashes, and I liked it.
Yes.
Bucky likes it too. You can hear
Heck yeah,
Bucky's
Bucky.
telling us all about it. So anyway, then he comes out the next week and he kills somebody else, and he just keeps on and keeps on and keeps on, and then he does it to Braun Strowman, and he does that on the roof of a car.
That was really like he jumped off a wall. Now, see, it would be okay if it
You're
was
right.
just Bronson Reed was the only one, because this week
Bronson Reed, and they make a point to say Bronson Reed's not here.
Yes. So someone
Then
else
Braun
got
Strowman
stretched
shows
out.
up all taped up and hurt. But the doctor leaves it up to him. If you can go, you can go. And not only does he go, he wins. All right.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, Seth got all that and we've seen him. Ricochet got all that. Ricochet got all that and he's on AEW. So not a whole lot of people have seen him. And now, but this week, Drew shows up and almost murders CM Punk. This is AEW territory of where there's a run-in after every match. So every week now. So now we're burying referees and we're destroying people and putting them in an ambulance on a weekly basis now.
Right. It'd be different if it was the same character. I mean, like, I don't want to say I'd be okay with it, but I would understand the story if Bronson Reed, like everybody that he squashed, was carted off and not to be seen,
Yeah.
That would be like, again, you're building up like this, especially because he is a big man, but he's very agile. Like he's jumping off whatever, the parking lot wall, whatever it was. And sorry, I was reading the comments.
Yeah, I
And
know. Darius Staley
we
shot my
got
wheels
some,
off.
we got some comedians in there. But I tell you
Oh,
what, though,
I'm just here for Darren Staley comments in the chat.
but what was, and I agree, like you said, Braun Strowman, he's got all that tape all over him. He acts like he can't breathe, which he shouldn't have, because you have a 300+ pound man
Yeah,
jumping, like a diving board onto you on a car hood. Like, you shouldn't be here. And
right.
again, he goes and wins the match, which is like, okay, but that, are we talking about Raw yet?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, very much, very true, Ben.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I'm a fan of Bronson Reed. Willie Buck wants to know about Justin. Justin resigned from the show. He's not with us anymore. He'll pop in from time to time, but um, due to his work, he had to step away. Willie wasn't here at the top of the show, so I wanted to let him
Oh,
know
yeah.
because
Yeah, we talked about that. Yes. Yes. Justin, well, thank you for asking about it, Willie. Um, that beating that McIntyre gave Punk was vicious.
it
Like,
was
I
great.
mean, it was really vicious. I mean, it was pretty intense there for a little
And the
bit.
announcers sold it like it was a big deal.
And
I'm
I
not
like,
criticizing the angle. I'm just
right.
criticizing. I mean, are we gonna put somebody in the hospital every Monday night now?
No, I agree. They already had that going on with Bronson Reed.
Yeah,
Now, granted, Bronson didn't put any, but there wasn't two.
but we're also building to Hell in the Cell, and Drew
Yeah,
turned into a heel last night. I even liked when he ripped the bracelet up and he put all the beads in Punk's mouth and then kicked him in the mouth.
I'm telling you, that was yes. Even when he initially, whenever I guess Punk was standing on um the announcer's table, I guess maybe he's waving at the crowd. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like, he came and he like just totally kicked his legs out from underneath. I mean, he was brutal from the start. And just like you said, ripping that bracelet off, shoving it down
Oh,
his throat. I mean, that was wild.
yeah, it was tremendous. It was
Yes, it was.
absolutely tremendous. I got no problem with the execution of it. And it makes perfect sense because the Hell in a Cell is naturally with the next step of the blow off match of the feud is going to be Hell in a Cell. So it makes sense. But Drew made it where they need that type of match now.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
Oh, definitely. Wade Barrett was trying to, talk to him and like pull him off, like, don't do this. And he just, he was just he couldn't see past his anger, and Wade Barrett's like, I can't do nothing. I've tried. I don't even recognize him, like, I thought that was really good. Speaking of that, did you like the new commentator?
I do. Joe Tessa, do they say it Tessitore?
I think
Is
so.
it Joe Tessitore?
I wasn't even going to try it.
Yeah, he's good. And I like that
I
they
like
made it.
too.
They opened the show with Wade Barrett introducing him in the ring. They made it a big deal in the ring. I'd like to see him open Raw in the ring every week.
But yeah,
If you're not going to put a match in the ring immediately, put the announcers in the ring and then go show the credits. go show the intro.
Yeah.
I liked it, but he introduced him in the ring because this is a huge deal. This guy's called he's called everything.
He came
And
from
most
ESPN.
recently,
Is that right?
yeah, he was on ESPN, but he called boxing.
Mm-hmm.
He's called BCS games. Recently, he was on that mini golf show with Rob Riggle. He was playing he was straight man for Rob Riggle on that
Okay.
whatever that putt golf game on ABC. Steph Curry had it. Extreme mini golf or something.
Huh.
It was fun, and Rob Riggle's funny,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe Tessitore was a straight man on there, and I thought he was really good.
Cool. Well, I thought he did fine. I mean, I think everybody should, understand it's his first day, But I really do think, I mean, I think he did great. I thought he sounded really natural with Wade Barrett. So I thought it was
Holy
good.
moly is correct, Ben. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it.
How does Ben from Australia know the American show that we were trying to think of? No.
I thought of Ben earlier today. I saw a video. Apparently, there's a trend now where people get on and make videos talking about they want to fight a kangaroo.
Oh, yeah. Ben, have
Not
you ever
me.
fought a
I want to
kangaroo?
say in a loud, clear voice that I don't, on in way, shape, form, or fashion, ever want to fight a kangaroo. They're jacked, man.
Yeah.
But there's people that do videos talking about and they actually break down how they would beat up the kangaroo.
Is it illegal to fight a kangaroo in Australia, Ben?
It's probably
I hear
self-defense. Kangaroos are assholes. Have you seen them?
I don't do jobs.
I don't do jobs to roos.
But I mean, yes, but if you're up in a kangaroo's face, I think they have every right to, they can't understand
Try running from one.
they're running from them, huh?
Well, yeah, if you see a kangaroo and you run from it, it chases you.
Well, all animals do that, don't they? Like a tiger's going to run after you if you start running. A bear,
Yeah, but a tiger's just going to eat me. He's not going to beat my ass.
he's not going to
Like,
embarrass you, then eat you.
Kangaroos will put you in a headlock and then start kicking you in the legs, the stomach, the nuts, everywhere else.
Like, how prevalent is a kangaroo beating in Australia, Ben?
Just
Are
go,
they just
go
everywhere?
go on TikTok and put kangaroo in a search bar.
Oh my God.
There's plenty of videos about kangaroos.
Interesting. A kangaroo kick.
I would take that.
Ooh.
I'd take the kangaroo kick. If you can get MJF to do it, I'll take it.
Put that roo in an ankle lock. Oh, I bet their tail, you're probably, yeah, I bet so. Ben, have you ever fought a kangaroo? I want to know now. I mean, I'm curious. He's the only one that might.
Ben's a damn handsome man. He has not fought a kangaroo.
Well, I mean, not like on purpose, but I mean, like he's got kids. He might have had to, protect his family or something.
What's the kangaroo situation down there, Ben? I mean, like I get deer in my backyard all the time.
Oh yeah.
I get I mean, like, are they like all over the place like deer are in the United States? Like, because I'll pull up in the driveway and there'll be 8 deer in the backyard, and they'll run. But so I didn't know if they were like running free through the neighborhoods or.
You know what? I never really thought about that, but yeah. Well, I bet it is kind of like. I mean, I bet it is like deer.
I'm just wondering. I mean, I just know that Australia's got all kinds of stuff. Like they got them big ass spiders that are bigger than dogs and
snakes.
Mostly in regional areas, not so much in the suburbs. They are tame. There are tame ones and in some parks that you can observe. Okay.
Do you know, Dave? We have kangaroos in Kentucky. It's near Mammoth Cave. It's called Kentucky Down Under, and they have kangaroos.
Oh, you got them like in a park or something.
Yeah. No, yes, I did not mean wild. I'm sorry. Are there kangaroo crossings? No,
we're going to say, because you hillbillies would probably think that was a jackalope right off saw one in the wild.
Was it Chupacabra? No, what is it called?
Anyway. Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. Ugh.
Hey,
he's desperate to eat kangaroo. No, thank you.
You're not going to Chicago this weekend, so are you planning on watching All Out?
No. I pay for All In. I don't like them when they're 2 weeks. I don't like the setup that they have. I was very happy. I was totally fine to pay the $50 to watch All In because I really enjoyed that. But just 2 weeks later, you can't. Who is it?
Yeah, will we made out of money?
I mean,
Tony Khan. Tony Khan's an inconsiderate billionaire.
That's very true. But Mariah May versus who she what's her name?
Tony Storm.
No. Darn it, I can't think of her name. She's anyway, I'll think about it in a second.
Well, let's talk about it anyway.
Kushida.
All right. Well, I mean, here's the poster for All Out. Apparently, Britt Baker was on the poster and got taken off the poster, and I don't have all the dirt on that yet. So I'm just wondering. They'll tell us in the chat if there's something going on with Britt Baker again.
I just think it's too soon. It's too soon. And now I will say this.
Well, I mean, it was booked ahead of time, and they did move it back a week. Thanks a lot for moving it back a week, because you screwed me out of being able to go to Chicago had I been, because I had the time set up where I could have gone.
Yes, that definitely made it a lot harder. But
yeah, they screwed it. They screwed a lot of people on moving that pay-per-view.
But I just don't. Now, what do you think about? They've already announced, right? All In is going to be in Dallas.
Yes,
next year
at the Globe Life Field where the Texas Rangers play baseball.
So, do you think we're going to have an All Out 2 weeks later? Do you think this is like how they're going to keep doing it, or do you think this is a good way to kind of break it up or get away from this 2-week pay-per-view?
I don't know. Honestly, I think that maybe he'll spread it out to 3 weeks next year.
3 weeks. Well, 4 weeks is a typical time between pay-per-views.
Maybe he should have moved it up. He should have moved it up and spread them out a little bit. But he's been just. I mean, that's what they've been doing. So
I just wonder, because again, they've announced All In already. It's not going to be at Wembley. Like that's not going to be their go-to now. Well,
yeah,
I'm
Drew.
going to say yes.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, All In felt like a bigger deal.
Well, All In is supposed to be kind of their
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. And I do think it was treated that way. Bash in Berlin.
And it came in under 4 hours. It came in at 4 hours. So, I mean, they didn't wear us out. I do think I think All In's probably the best pay-per-view that AEW's ever done. I think that was their best one to date.
It was definitely very good. I agree. It was
very good.
I
mean, when I say that, I'm not saying it. I mean, you had to sit there and think about it. It's not. It's
hard to compare.
It wasn't miles apart. I mean, you're not talking about. I mean, both of them were 4-jar cards. So.
Right. But because it is kind of their WrestleMania, I feel like, again, the entrances were all really big and spectacular. Everybody, you're right. It was 4 hours because they had, 12-man matches every person.
Yeah.
So we weren't, you were getting through them pretty darn quick. But
yeah, he's trying to put my really only complaint about that that was mostly on the pre-show too. But
right.
I mean, God bless him for trying to give I mean, they say that like everybody gets a payday. It's everybody gets exposure because everybody's already getting a payday because they're contracted. MJF and Daniel Garcia. I feel like they want this to be a bigger deal than it is.
Yeah.
But I don't see any scenario that MJF doesn't win this match.
Again, it's like, I mean, he came out. He didn't really cost him the match. He knocked the brass knuckles or whatever he had out of his hands. But did you hear that the ring was legit stolen? No.
Yeah, the ring is gone. It was legit stolen. And that's why he had the brass. See, I thought that brass knuckles gimmick with the white tape.
Yeah.
I thought that was so you could see it in the arena. I would see it in the stadium.
Sure.
But it was that was a cover up because he didn't have the ring. The ring's gone. Somebody stole it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I read. I mean, it's on the internet, so you know how that is. But that's
It's
what I
true.
read.
I wonder, well, just to go back just a second, the All In next year is July 12th. So it's,
Yeah.
so I
So
do
yeah,
think,
All Out will be a month apart.
I do think we
That's
are,
smart.
and actually it says the next pay-per-view is the Forbidden Door.
Oh, then they're going to go from there back across over to England.
Yeah, because it's going to be August 24th. And so maybe, just maybe, it doesn't have what would be next after that. So, but I do like it. So at least it's going to be, we're
Well, we
hopefully
should
we'll get
go,
away
and then
from
I'll
it.
get my
Mhm.
Japanese wrestling, and you'll get your
Yeah.
European.
Oh, just do you think we could do the show over there? We could like take it off, like get the show to pay for it all.
Our show?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't think it was funny.
yeah. I
I
mean,
thought I'd
hell,
ask. But you're right. I like Daniel Garcia. I really do, but
we
I
need
don't.
we need a lot of sponsors.
Nobody thinks MGF is losing this match. And just like Drew says, he should not lose twice in a row. And I
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
We've only got 6 people watching tonight because we don't have any of our Twitter.
Why? What do you mean?
You got to pay for Twitter to broadcast on Twitter.
Oh, I got you.
They started that, and so now we've lost. I mean, more people. More people are watching than that. It's just the Twitter used to count up there on the screen.
Mm.
Anyway, MJF's going to beat Daniel Garcia. The last time they featured Daniel Garcia, he was doing good, and then he just stopped to start dancing all of a sudden like he was Alex Wright.
I'm sure they told him to do that.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know. Why would they? I don't know.
Hey, we got you looking good here in the ring, so now we want you to look like a complete doofus and dance instead of continuing to kick this man's ass. Didn't hit for me. But MJF's going to win. No way he's going to lose 2 in a row.
I think hopefully we'll, like you said, we're going to get away from that dancing. Yeah. And, I think maybe this could be a good match for him to kind of pivot and be more serious.
Yeah.
I don't care about this. And I hate that because I feel like they keep wrestling each other.
This is actually a stipulation. This one has a stipulation to it. Threw my notes away. This one has a stipulation that Willow Nightingale versus Chris Stanlander with Stokely Hathaway. This is a Chicago street fight for the CMLL World Women's Championship. Willow Nightingale is the CMLL Women's World Champion. A street fight. I don't think that she's going to lose her Women's World Championship to Chris Statlander in Chicago.
You don't? Now I'm kind of wondering. I didn't know it was for the belt. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think CMLL is letting that belt change hands outside of Mexico.
Well, that might be true too.
Just a feeling, but I also feel like that Willow Nightingale's got this feud, and I think he's got this feud well in control. And I think because they just won it All In. I think that she's going to beat Chris Statlander, and it'll be time for Statlander to move on to something else, and Willow to move on to something else as well.
True.
I'd like to see Willow take a run at Mariah May. I mean, she's already
she's got a championship.
I mean, she's already.
Belt.
I think so, and I think that's a better matchup than going after Mercedes.
Yeah.
Timu Barry Windham versus Swerve Strickland in a steel cage.
I hate this. I'm not a fan of Adam Page.
His title reign killed him for me. And I used to like him.
Honestly,
Hangman Adam Page, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that making him the champion took all the shine off of him. They managed to pull what NWA did to Ronnie Garvin in '87. His was a fart in church title reign.
Well, and I know this, I am a CM Punk fan. I mean, I know him shooting in the ring, you
Yeah,
know, to me, that's a professionalism thing. Like that's just that's unprofessional. And it just really made me not like him.
yeah,
And so I just, yes, and exactly, Drew. He doesn't take advice. I mean, I just yes, his whole attitude, it just turns me off. And I hope Swerve Strickland just beats the crap out of him.
yeah. I gotta think that Swerve's going over here. I mean, it seems like Adam Page needs it.
Yeah.
It seems like Adam Page needs it. If Swerve loses, there's going to be some outside factors to it. I think that the Elite gets involved with it.
Maybe
If,
some kind of
I think it's a numbers
disqualification or
game.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, if this is gonna if Swerve loses, then it's gonna be because it was a numbers game, and he's gonna be completely outnumbered. Drew Review says he looks like Daniel Day-Lewis, and There Will Be Blood.
Or, he's supposed to be kind of unhinged, like he just, does it like he gets disqualified, brings a chair in, starts like I'm with you. I think there's going to be something, but it's going to be
And Swerve,
numbers. It's going to be something, outside
Swerve,
of the actual match. Sorry.
Swerve losing the championship, I think he's going to be very spirited too. So I think it's good. I think this could be, match of the night. Honestly, it's got the potential for it. Will Ospreay versus Pac for the international championship.
How does this happen? Was this a tournament? Like, how did Pac get this position? Do you know? Or they just decided?
I guess they just decided. I don't know that there's any story that decided it. Hell of a matchup.
Well, because he's one of the 6-man, right?
I know.
I mean, it's just
that's just how it works in AEW. That if you're a champion, you have the opportunity to win more championships.
I'm sure it will be a good match. It just does.
Oh, it's going to be, and I like both these guys.
Yeah, no,
Will
I agree.
Will Ospreay is going to retain his championship. There's no chance that he's losing this championship. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be. There ain't going to be no psychology.
No,
they're going to flip flop and fly, and it's going to let her rip potato chip. It's going to be a hell of a match.
What a cool saying from the potato chip man. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a spectacle, and I guess maybe that's good that it's on All Out. Like it's been 2 weeks. How can anybody expect much story? So I don't think people. I don't want to say they don't expect much,
but this isn't bad. It's just a man challenging for a championship. That's storytelling. That's good storytelling in itself. Problem is that I think this is a face versus face situation.
Definitely. This would have probably been better at Wembley in front of their own countrymen.
Well,
let's wait till we do it till we get.
Well, they were all kind of busy. They were all kind of busy doing stuff at Wembley.
Well, that's true. That's true. Shida. I don't know.
You said Mariah May, but it's actually Mercedes Moné versus Shida with Camille.
I'm sorry. I thought it was Mariah. Who's Mariah May then going against?
Mariah May's not on the card.
She's not. Oh, well.
I know.
I mean, again,
have you seen?
Think Shida's going to win?
Have you seen that Mr. McMahon documentary?
I have seen
the poster.
Yes.
Where he's got the puppet strings.
Yes.
I saw this with her with puppet strings on Tony Khan. And I'm like, that's not accurate, because if it was her and Tony Khan, it would be her hand up in there like Kermit the Frog working him like a Muppet.
I mean,
I'm a fan of Shida.
Uh-huh.
I'm a fan of Shida, and I'd love to see Shida win. It's not going to happen.
No.
Not and with Camille at ringside. This is going to keep on rolling on, but it should be a good match.
And again, I think Sheeta maybe last week won a tournament or match or whatever to get this number one, or get this
Yeah.
match. But again, it's just like she's very good. Sheeta's very good, but again, you're not going
But
to.
I would rather see Sheeta versus Mariah May. She's a former world champion,
Definitely.
challenging for the TBS title.
But you know what? I think Sheeta and Sasha Mercedes, whatever, is going to have a lot better match than Mercedes and Britt Baker did. I think Sheeta is
I agree.
skilled and will be able to, pick up or slow down whatever she needs to do.
I think Britt Baker has a lot of presentation.
Well, and I think just for whatever reason, both of them, maybe they're too similar. I don't know, but Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné, they didn't, to me, they were not jiving. Like, I don't know what was going on. But I feel like
I think that's Mercedes. I don't think Mercedes' style of wrestling jives with
Britt Baker.
She has to adjust her style. She wrestles like that WWE machine that she came up in.
Well, but
and that's not a bad thing. It just doesn't translate well to other promotions.
Well, but now let me just say this. Is it not good that Britt couldn't, pick up on it or, work with it? I mean, I expect Sheeta to be able to work with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was a weird, AEW is very bad about hot shotting. Like, Britt Baker comes back, so let's have her in like the absolute highest match it could possibly be in, and then that way we have nowhere to go. Except for
I think that I think
like,
they handle the hot shot booking doesn't work for me.
No.
The Britt Baker having to jump through hurdles and have to go through Camille to get to Mercedes would have been
definitely. No, I definitely agree. It's just like I said, now where's Britt Baker supposed to go now?
Yeah, and I don't think that Mercedes should be featured as heavily as she's featured because the women's world champion, the women's world champion should be featured. But we've got the assistant manager. We got the assistant manager carrying the load right now.
Well, I know, but you couldn't take it off Tony, with the work that they were doing with that title, but they paid a lot of money, so they're going to put a title on her. And it's kind of, you know what, though, in a weird way, the TBS being TV champion, her wanting to be on TV, like, I feel like it fits her in a way that she would want to be in that spotlight, the TV champion, always on TV kind of
Drew Reviews is correct. If Mercedes can't wrestle with Sheeta, we'll know she's the problem. And,
definitely.
And I'm not saying that Mercedes can't wrestle. I'm saying that Mercedes is a project of the WWE, the NXT, that system, and she flourished in that system. And then she went took what she knew how to do to Japan and got hurt twice. And she's been underwhelming on AEW. It's a styles clash.
Definitely.
And are there any women that they could put her with that were in WWE to get a good match out of her? That were in that system too,
well,
but they probably, Toni Storm came from up there.
Yeah. But I think, again, Sheeta she is seasoned enough that you could put her in there with anybody.
We'll see.
We shall see. I think that, it'll be like, I think Sheeta will make Mercedes look really good.
Yeah.
I do. And I think Britt maybe didn't know how. I don't know.
Well, Mercedes couldn't even execute her own finish on Britt Baker.
Right. But it's like,
Britt Baker's not a big woman. Yeah. So something's hinky there. I could care less about this match.
Yeah, he's not losing. Bryan Danielson's not losing.
Well, I'll say in a
So
loud, clear voice that we will be a 100% WWE slanted product if Jack Perry becomes the AEW heavyweight champion.
2 weeks after Brian Danielson just bled all over the place for it,
He
a
looks like
retirement
General.
match.
He looks like General Zod. He looked like General Zod from Superman 2 back
Which
in
one?
like Christopher Reeve's Superman 2.
No, which person? Brian Danielson or
Jack
Jack
Perry.
Perry?
Jack Perry.
I do like the change in Jack Perry. I mean, I like the beard. I like the getting a Jungle Boy. Like that was good in the beginning. Not
No, it was never
not a
good.
huge.
But what they're doing with him now is good.
Well, I mean, people like that. And people like the Jungle Boy that comes out on the shoulders of
Singing the song,
Luchasaurus and
yeah.
all that stuff. Definitely.
I think Brian Danielson wins. They might do a disqualification gimmick.
What I'd like to see is that they try and somehow it's foiled. They throw a chair or whatever, or do something, and he still wins. He
Yeah.
puts them in a label lock. He does something to them, like they try to cheat,
But
they're not able to.
But this, to me, this is an underwhelming main event. Does
Again,
Christian try to cash in? I mean, you never know. So, but I mean, I like what they're doing with Jack Perry, his character. If he quits doing all the inside baseball CM Punk stuff,
yes, let it go.
because he
It's
don't
been a
work
year.
there. He don't work there, and you were too much of a bitch to make money with him.
Exactly.
So, and yeah, I said what I said. I mean, I'll take it back to Edge and Matt Hardy all day long. Matt Hardy could have killed Edge, and I would have not convicted him if I'd been on his jury. But Vince told him to calm that shit down, put it in the ring, and make some money off of it, and they did.
Exactly.
And these idiots were all off in their feelings and stuff, and I'd tell that's the difference between Vince McMahon and Tony Khan, because Tony Khan should have told them all to shut up and you're all going to be in the ring doing this next week.
Well, again, it all goes back to Adam Page, Jack Perry. They're kind of doing things like they want or they think they can with no repercussions. I mean, like that's you don't do that. You don't say stuff.
People are always going to push to do things that they until you can't get away with it no more, then you're going to try them. And I mean, that's kind of loosey-goosey to me. It's just a missed opportunity. But this is an upgrade in his character, 100%.
I agree.
And I liked what happened last week with Darby Allin. He's standing on the casket and was going to set him on fire, and Sting came out and popped the crowd, and I didn't have a problem with that either.
Definitely.
So
I kind of like that. That just, I don't want to say it keeps you on your toes, but it's not like Sting is gone forever. Like he's always going to be watching over Darby.
Right.
Like you kind of have that feeling. Yeah. That will be, yes. I'm sure the CM Punk chance will be quite interesting.
So, I mean, this is a decent card. This is a decent card.
Not a lot of matches. I mean, we're not getting like flooded with stuff.
On paper, it don't look. I don't feel motivated enough to pay $50 for it.
No, I don't either.
All in though was the first pay-per-view that I bought from AEW that I did not feel buyer's remorse. I need more of that, and it looks like that they're going to be in the time. We don't have a lot scheduled for this one, so right. I think that they've learned that less is more. And I'm sure they're going to do a 0 hour and have 87 people on there.
That just means our friends that are going to be at All Out are going to be lucky because they're
I
going to
hope
get,
so.
they're going to get to see a lot of people and maybe even run into them. You never know.
Yeah.
We had a great time with the AEW roster that first Top Guy weekend.
Oh
Pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Well, y'all did. I was asleep.
Oh yeah. Oh, as we all know, we had to find that picture and show it just for those who may not have ever seen it before.
Yeah, we might do it some other time, but right now,
It's time for Amy's trivia. Think you have the facts? Let's play and see.
All righty.
all right.
Well, this week, do you know who Walter Hahn is?
Don't have a clue.
This
What do we
week,
got? What is trivia about, Amy?
it's all about Gunther.
Ah.
His real
Oh,
name.
I didn't know that was his last name.
That is his real name, Walter Hahn. He was born August 20th of what year? Was it 85, 86, 87, or 88?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and guess that he's the same age as my daughter, and I'm going to go with 1987.
I believe you are correct, sir.
Drew Reviews popped in with a C on there as well.
Oh, we're getting C's. We're getting C's. And the answer is
Oh, I got to do that too.
yes, you do. 1987.
7. Look at
And
me.
you
I'm
know-
right out of the gate.
I know. Your daughter's 37.
Yeah. She'll be 38.
Man,
She's going to be 38 in January.
you're old.
No shit,
was-
Amy.
You know, it was funny because I'm sitting there when I was first doing, I was like, oh, he's kind of young. Like when I saw 87, and then I'm like, no, he's not. He's almost 40. Like, I don't know what I thought. I guess I was thinking it was still the 2000s or whatever.
I would have thought he was younger than that.
Yeah, he's almost 40. Yeah, I don't think he looks that. You're right. What country is Gunther/Walter from? Is he from Germany, Austria, Albania, or Belgium?
Austria seems right to me.
How about in the chat? What do you all think? What country?
Drew Reviews went with Austria.
See if anybody else has a guess. You and Drew Reviews are correct. It is Austria. You have to hit the button.
Yeah.
Yay! Yay!
I'm on fire.
Vienna, Austria. Next
All right.
question. What year did Gunther/Walter, he was Walter, make his wrestling debut? Was it
Man,
2005, 2006, 2007, or 2008?
man, I just saw that they did that. They did that little feature on him and talked about his time in the Indies. I'm going to go 2006.
Anybody in the chat want to guess?
Drew
Ooh,
Review went 2005.
now you're going to make me yawn.
Sorry.
I try really hard not. Really tried not to yawn. We got a couple A's. Got a couple A's. Got a C, and you had a B.
I went B.
He was 18 years old.
And the winner is
As I say, he was 18 years old, 2005.
2005.
That's crazy to think. 2005, he was 18.
Wow.
I don't want to think about. That's crazy. Walter Gunther made his debut into the WWE system at what 2019 NXT UK Takeover pay-per-view? Was it Dublin, Cardiff, Blackpool, or London? He made his debut at the 2019 NXT UK. I guess it's Blackpool.
Oh, I did not mean to click that.
It's okay.
I was going to say Cardiff, but I did not.
That was
I did
funny.
not mean to click that. I don't know how I did that.
Everybody pick C.
Oh, I hit the space bar on my computer and it did it.
Oh, I got you.
I have an action figure I'm going to show everybody, and the protective covering was on the keyboard.
I gotcha. All right, well, let's go to the next one. These are fill in the blanks. How many days did Gunther hold the Intercontinental Championship title?
I know this. 666.
Yes, you are correct.
He's a beast.
I know. I don't like that.
I can't believe that they did that.
I know. I do not like that. But it was 666 days.
Yeah, I knew that one. Because then I was like, really? They did that?
All right, last question. What is the name of Gunther's wife, who is a fellow NXT UK wrestler? I did not know that little bit till I started doing a little research.
I didn't know that he married a wrestler either.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat want to take a guess on what is the name of Gunther's wife? She
I
is
wouldn't
a
be able to
fellow
name off NXT UK wrestlers anyway.
Yeah, she's a fellow NXT UK wrestler. I think our chat is stumped too.
Whoops, we're all stumped. I did not mean to hit that. Heather said Jenny.
Okay.
Oh,
it is.
She was just like, I thought she just knew her first name. I didn't know that.
She is very accomplished too. She retired. She's had some injuries, and then she just recently had a baby. So, but yes, she is a NXT UK wrestler. Jenny. So that is your trivia. Hopefully, you all learned a little bit about Walter Hahn, aka Gunther.
I knew that. I didn't know his last name was Hahn.
Yeah. It is. You didn't know he's 37.
See, when you send the trivia, I don't look at it. The first time I see it's when I put it on the screen.
Well, I know. I like it. That's why I send it to Stephanie.
I would have felt like a dumbass if I'd have Googled Walter and didn't know. I want to take a minute. I'm going to show y'all. Speaking of
him,
I have his NXT 2019 takeover. Oh, if I'd have read the back of the box, it would have said the Austrian Anomaly.
You knew it, but you got that one.
But I mean, look how big Walter was. So much bigger than Gunther.
Definitely.
And it's autographed. And let me talk about autographs for a minute.
Yes.
I mean, is there any part of that autograph that you can make out Walter?
No, maybe Gunther. If I had to, maybe a G.
And I may do this over on the Ram Network. Over on the Ram Network now, that you can get for $5. We've dropped the price to $5 on the Ram Network for all that bonus content, all the great stuff that we have going on over on the Ram Network. I may have to do a wrestling autograph show.
Mm-hmm.
I've got autographs from Terry Funk, and you know what? You can read that his signature. You know it's Terry Funk,
right?
And Harley Race, Best in Sports, Harley Race. You can read it and see.
Yes. When
Ric
we were
Flair.
in Waterloo.
Ric Flair signs his name where you can read it and know it's Ric Flair. Hulk Hogan, the same thing. I'm naming 4 of the biggest wrestlers to ever perform in a ring. Legends.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could get an autograph from them and be able to make out what their name is, then who in the hell are you to give an autograph to somebody and you can't be bothered to write it to where somebody can identify that you got that autograph? I mean, this is that squiggle crap. I'm just a
Mhm.
referee, but occasionally somebody actually asks for my autograph, and it blows my mind every time they do, and I'm honored to do it. But I guarantee you that when they get home and they start telling their friends about who signed their poster or whatever, that you can read that it says Ref Super Dave Miller.
I've got one. I've got your
I
autograph
go to
one.
great because I mean Richard Petty. Richard Petty used to take pride in his autograph as well. The NASCAR driver. And these young people today, I mean, if Harley Race and Terry Funk can do it, then who in the hell are you to not put a little pride? I mean, I got Nia Jax here. I can read it. It says Nia Jax. Up here, I got Britt Baker. The doctor will see you now. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Even Wardlow, I can tell says Wardlow.
Yeah, Cash, Dax.
I mean, Swerves. I can't. Swerves is a bunch of squiggles. Just take a minute to take some pride in your damn autograph because you're charging people for it. Ain't nobody signing this stuff for free.
You know,
It's
when we were in Waterloo, one of the items that was up for silent auction was something that had like
lots of
20,
autographs on
30.
it. Yeah,
I wish I would have bet higher on that. I would have loved to have had it. But and like you said, you could tell who everybody was that you're looking at. You know, and Harley
exactly.
Race was on there and some other people. It was really good.
Yeah.
Do you have a wiener dog in the wrestling room? What is that? No. Yeah. Oh, I love it. That is great.
My daughter, it normally washes out on the screen, so that's why I don't turn it on.
I
My
got you.
my daughter Brittany bought that for me for my birthday.
I love it. That's so cute.
All right.
It's been fun.
I think so.
I think it has been. It's just been so much wrestling that we just felt like we needed to talk about. I mean, this will be, it's like the last 3 weeks we've had 3 different pay-per-views. And NXT, if we could have fit it in, what I heard, it
Yeah.
was really good. And so I
I
may go
don't know
back and watch
why.
it.
I don't know why I don't watch NXT.
There's just so much, you know. Plus, you know, you're getting ready. You're usually gone on the weekends because
Yeah.
you're at a show somewhere. So I
Uh,
mean, but I heard it was really good, and
well,
I
before we
like you
get
said,
out
I'll
of
go
here,
watch it.
I want to take a minute to tell you about our two sister podcasts. We have the TNA Top 10. They're doing this week's show. They went to they did the top 10 dog breeds.
Yes,
Uh, my dogs are very upset that the dachshund was at number 9. I think that's
I voted for them.
unadulterated bullshit because everybody loves wiener dogs.
Yes, I agree.
But it is what it is. I'm looking forward to next week's poll.
I don't know what it is.
Well, that was never mind. That was college football. That was college football.
I don't vote in the
No,
college football ones. I tell them I would ruin their poll because I'd be just randomly putting. So I wouldn't even know what I was doing. I'd be very mad.
and those boys over at FFP. You know what they had this week, Amy? Oh, they went to September of 1999. American Beauty hits the big screens, and Dave ain't seen it. John Elway has his number retired by the Broncos, and Vanessa Williams marries
Fox.
UNC basketball legend.
Fox. What is his first name?
Um, uh,
His last name is
Rick
Fox.
Fox. Rick Fox.
Ron.
I
Rick
knew that. I
Fox.
don't know why I had to think about it.
That's okay. TJ and I
Those,
had our show, Power of the Pin, dropped with our interview with Zach Haydorn, who wrote this really good book. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. It's really different. He talks a lot about the different matches, and he gives you this. My favorite part is it's called a quick hit in hidden gems. He has it at the end of every chapter, and he gives you these little matches of Stone Cold that you may not know about, or you might be interested in watching. And so, like I said, they're little hidden gems, and he does that in every chapter, kind of like every progression of Stone Cold's wrestling career. It's very good, and I definitely recommend. It's on Amazon. That's where I got mine. Get over there to Patreon to check out the hour. It's about an hour long. TJ and I just asked him about the book and writing it and all that good stuff. It was very good. Like I said,
Does he talk about? Does he talk about Austin and early in his career when he started at the Sportatorium? He's talking about his match against Frogman LeBlanc.
Frogman, I'll have to look up.
That was his first match.
But he does. The first chapter is the rookie, and so he definitely talks about where he started. Featured rival was obviously with Chris Adams. He talks about this is USWA.
Yes, USWA.
Barbed wire match at the Sportatorium in May 25th, 1990. Let's see if that's a hidden gem. Of course, that has all the stuff with his wife.
Well, that was just his debut match. It wasn't nothing to talk about. It was a squash match for television. Hold that book up to
you know what? 5/11/89, Steve Williams versus Frogman LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Is one of the quick hits and hidden gems. So yes, he does, and he tells you about it.
I was there. And speaking of I was there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Hey, hold that book up. Hold that book up to the camera one more time. Let everybody see it. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna have to check that out.
The artwork is really interesting too. Definitely worth checking out. Yes, I really did like this book, and so did TJ. It's very well done.
World Class Flashback. Me and Timmy, this on the Ram Network again over patreon.com/Ram Network. $5 a month for all this bonus content. Every week we're doing a World Class Flashback. Me and Timmy C are taking a look at 1983, the Von Erich Freebird feud. We just had an episode drop where the Iceman and Buddy Roberts are really starting to ramp up with the hair angle. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is calling out David Von Erich at every turn. We're a month out away from International Star Wars. Kevin Von Erich versus Ric Flair is what they're promoting for that show. We're having a good time with 1983. We've got Kamala the Ugandan Giant. Akbar's Devastation Incorporated is there. They've ramped up against H&H, trying to run them out of the territory. Gentleman Chris Adams has just come on the scene. We're gonna in the next few weeks we're gonna see Rock Riddle.
Really?
Rock Riddle was in WCCW in 1983. I saw him on the results, and I'm like, because I don't remember Rock Riddle being there.
Really?
But they show on one of the results from Cage Match, he lost a match to a wrestler named Mike Reed. I don't think I ever saw Mike Reed beat anybody. He was an enhancement talent but I mean, Rock Riddle in 83. I can't wait to see when we get to it, and it's going to be coming up in a few weeks on World Class Flashback.
And for you all that may not know, Pondwater and I saw Rock Riddle in a match at Waterloo this year. So 40, 50 year, like I'm not for sure how.
He was on the Gong Show in the 70s.
Yeah.
A professional wrestler on the Gong Show in the 70s. And nobody knows how old he is. You can try. I haven't been able to find his birth date. But he wrestled the other night, and he didn't embarrass himself for his age. I mean, he did try to do one thing that it was a little bit. I mean, he had the intention to pull it off, and he didn't. But I mean, it was not. I mean, the match was good, and he's damn entertaining. I had my picture taken with Rock Riddle back in 2008.
Did you get it again at Waterloo?
I did not.
Are you going next year? I bet it'll be there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Probably, well, that's the plan. Also over on the Ram Network, we have an audience with the Belt Pope. I just dropped another episode featuring the World Class 6-Man Tag Team Championship belt. Amy mentioned the Power of the Pen. We have I Was There, Eras, The New Generation, Hard Times and Beyond, Crockett 86. So much bonus content.
Check it all out. It's $5.
We're going to be doing some
You know you're
Zooms.
gonna like it. You know
We're going to be doing
like
some
it.
Zooms, some live watch-alongs.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to do one the other night and nobody showed up, so we switched over to SwitchYard. StreamYard just recorded the episode. Andrew Hermes is the only one that showed up, and he watched it with us. And he's always pretty critical of World Class, but he actually enjoyed it. He could see the storytelling was really good,
Definitely
really good, and he was in. I mean, he liked it. So Ram Network, patreon.com/Ram Network, only $5. We appreciate y'all going out and checking out what we're doing over there, working hard for you, open to suggestions. We're when we appreciate it. Get your Pondwater Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave merchandise over at jumpinthepond.com. And I'm on Cameo. We talked about it earlier. Cameo.com, search Pondwater Dave. Here I am. We could have a lot of fun with that. I've already done one. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I gave him a good. I filibustered for him. That's for sure. I hope they put a fire emoji on it, so I guess it hit.
Oh, yay! All right.
Anyway, until next week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to plug or talk about.
No, we appreciate everyone that's joined us tonight. We love talking wrestling with you all, and we're just
going to get out of here then.
Yeah.
For Amy Vaughn, I'm Pondwater Dave. We'll see you next week on Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave. Good night, everybody.